Absolutely. We enjoy it, and we also agree it's an amazing opportunity. But we do it because
Because we're so amazing.
well, it's a fun way for us to
We
help.
can't help ourselves, Greg.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not be coy about this. Now, can someone please let me know? Are we? I believe we're live.
I think we're live.
We are live. Greg, can I start with a bunch of shameless plugs?
Yeah, we're live.
Would you be okay with that?
I had to mute you for a second. What?
I don't feel like this is the first time you've needed to mute me for a second. What I was asking is, do you mind if I start with a couple of shameless plugs?
No.
Okay.
Never.
Well, so hey everybody, before we start, I have a couple of shameless plugs for you. One, we've started the Love Line for Business hotline, which is a voicemail box you can call into to leave us questions. And in future episodes of Love Line for Business, Greg and I will answer those on the show. We already have one question lined up, and we'd like a whole bunch more. And you can leave us a message at 775-442-4819, or as Greg told me this morning, that also comes out to 7skihag819. Just leave us a message there. We'd love to talk to you and answer some of your questions. Second shameless plug is we're also launching a newsletter called In the Flow, and we'd love for you to sign up for that. Go to intheflow.email and you'll get our first edition by tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Sorry, Friday. Third shameless plug, and Greg, you're gonna have to show this off. Greg's gonna model this for us. We have Love Line for Business merch. You know you gotta get some, right? So where can you get this? We have t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops. You can get that at lovelineforbiz.com, and if you scroll down, you can find a whole bunch of t-shirts you can click on. We're working on a page where you can just go there, but it'll be ready. And if you're already there, we'd love to have some more guests on the podcast, and we're working on starting sort of a new format where we have guest interviewers on with us. So if you'd like to come on the podcast, please go to lovelineforbiz.com, and there will be a button there to schedule a session with us. And
I just wanted to point out that the guest hosts will be famous celebrities.
They will be very famous celebrities with lots of experience.
Yes.
They will be amazing. Dawn, welcome to the show.
Thank you guys so much for doing this. I'm really grateful that you guys are going to help me out today.
Well, this is so much fun, so it doesn't. Thank you for that, for saying that. But it is entirely our pleasure. How about we start a little? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're up to, and then we can talk to you about what you'd like some help with.
Okay. So I was a math teacher for over a decade, and I got really sick and burned out. So in my healing journey, I found EFT, emotional freedom techniques, or tapping. It worked so great for me that I got certified, and I had a big career change. And I've been doing that for the last couple of years. Now, when COVID happened, and so many of my local friends who had brick and mortar businesses, yoga, meditation, wellness centers were shut down, I decided, I'm like, I've had a membership for other EFT practitioners for a year now. And we have 100 members in there, learned a ton along the journey. I've been in so many different courses to learn about memberships. But I'm like, you know what? Why don't I create a membership co-op? Where I create the membership, I build it all out, I manage it, I run it, I host it, whatever. And I invite my friends who are now trying so desperately to get onto the, into the online space, who may have like zero experience. And we serve the community together. So we grow the community together and we serve the community together. And I thought this was going to be like a huge win for everybody. So, it's been about 3 months, and we've had like lots of bumps in the road along the way. The team of practitioners we've had a variety of people come on board as practitioners that have kind of like come, they came and left. So we have a group of 4 right now that is pretty solid. Now, it's I like there's so much in managing the membership right now, and I'm just struggling with how to lead the team better, because we've set it up where the practitioners have a like their affiliate commission is 50% and our other affiliates are 30%. So we've just been kind of at this point where I'm so overwhelmed, with that, right? Kids are home and everything is it's just so hard, but I feel so overwhelmed with the managing the members that we have and trying to grow it at the same time. And also developing other relationships where we do have this like really thriving cooperative space. I feel like we've kind of hit this roadblock, and I've tried a lot of things for the other practitioners to help them like kind of see the vision, but there's just a huge gap between the vision that I have and the vision that I'm communicating, and also how to really like inspire this team and to grow this team with more with more services for the members, with more support for the members. I have this vision of so much awesomeness for our members, but I feel like I'm like hustling so much and I'm just kind of like on my own. So I want to, like, how can I lead better, and how can I, serve in a much bigger way, and also help a lot of people who are trying to get into the membership space or who see the value in that model, but don't necessarily have the tech or the experience to, to build it and to run it and to manage it, if that makes sense.
I have a whole bunch of thoughts.
Okay.
Awesome. My first ones is, and I'll hook you up after the show, is you should talk to my friend Dana. She runs a site for a fitness site, which she ran for a long time. She sort of burnt out at a certain point and sort of got sick of it. And then Corona hit, and a whole bunch of her trainer friends suddenly were without gyms to work at and didn't know what the hell to do with themselves. They were trying to do things on Zoom, and that didn't work. They had none of the technical sort of background. And she had all this experience with years and years of experience with both running a membership site and how to do all the technical part around doing that. She does it through Kajabi, and how to find new customers and how to record everything. And she has started this thing where she does partnerships with other fitness trainers. She provides the entire platform and like the whole, and she does the marketing, and they come in and do the recording, and they make a commitment to record a certain amount of content over time, and there's profit sharing there. So it's sort of like the co-op model that you're talking about. But I'm sure you could have a great conversation with her about how difficult and frustrating it can be to have the answers for everything and provide leadership, where you can get people lit up about an idea, and they say, yeah, I want to participate. And then you expect them to pitch in, and they're just waiting for you to tell them what to do. And that's always tough, right? The other thing that I was thinking about when I was listening to you talk is it's difficult sometimes to translate what's in our head to something that other people can understand, that's not like on the same wavelength, right? Because everything seems incredibly clear in our head, and then we speak to someone else and they get like 40% of it. And how do we translate that better? And I found that you need to take the idea that you have in your head and write it out, and then speak it out loud. And you can do it to yourself, and you write it out, and sort of see how you can make it clearer, or even find friends that you can talk to and sort of pitch it to them and have them tell you what sucks about it. Because if most often when we ask friends, like, can you give us some feedback? Oh, you're great. This is fantastic. Yeah. What do you like about it? Everything.
Yeah.
You know, or they just really admire the fact that you're trying, that you're trying something new, you're building something, and that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for figuring out what needs polishing and what doesn't make sense and what's getting lost in the translation from what's going on in your head and what's coming out of your mouth. So that's the other thing that I was thinking about. I mean, just to make sure that I understand what it is that you're trying to do. You're running a membership site, and you've had whatever success or not with that by yourself. And as COVID hit, you sort of wanted to ramp that up. And there's a whole bunch of other people that are trying to run membership sites in the same space. And rather than each of you do like a tiny little pod, you said, why don't we work together? And then we'll pull both the resources we're giving our members and our ability to pull in members. Is that right?
Yeah. So I have 2 memberships. The one has been established and running, that's the one for EFT practitioners. That's a separate one. But yeah, this one, we're serving holistic minded women. We're bringing, EFT, tapping to them, Reiki, different like holistic modalities for healing. And and I thought it would be such a no-brainer for people who were, whose brick and mortars were shut down and who were scrambling, right, to figure out, how do I bring this online? And so
where are you seeing the most resistance?
In figuring out how to lead the practitioners better and the affiliates that I have right now, to grow it. Like, I feel like I'm so burned out from doing the managing, the promoting, everything. And then maybe where to find or how to bring in affiliates who are really interested in that cooperative model. Like, somebody mentioned to me the other day, like, why don't you look at like bloggers who have a big audience in or who serve, holistic minded people who are familiar with the affiliate system, who are really interested in like maybe not like serving the community every month, but maybe bring them in to highlight them for a month. And then they can be like a special guest in the membership, and maybe, serve in that way. And then we can grow, we can offer the program to their audience as well. And kind of do that on a monthly basis instead of having like a core group of practitioners who are serving. Cause I think it was just so overwhelming for the members too, to have so many different like people on the team. But the resistance, I guess, for me, I've been frustrated with the team and frustrated with myself, and like, how can I lead them better? Because I know they're struggling financially with their brick and mortar shutting down and losing all their income. But like, I'm not, we have this great opportunity. We have millions of people who need healing. It's only $27 a month for the membership. It's very affordable. We've been doing free months. There's just like a lack of connection there.
So you mentioned you have a very grand vision for what this could be. Do your partners share that vision?
I'm not sure. At the beginning, it seemed like we did. It seems like I mean, and I've been through so many have come and been super excited, and then they've kind of fallen off. So there's 4 of us left, and I think so.
Okay. So 2 things. I think it would be important. It's important to make sure that the people that have stuck around and you are all on the same page. So if you haven't explicitly discussed this with them, you should probably do that. Say, hey, I have this really big vision for what this could be, but what do you think? Like, what do you need out of this? So I think maybe that's the question to start asking, is ask them what they need and want out of this. And if it's different than what you have imagined for it, then see if there's a middle ground, or if the relationship needs to change. The other thing I'd suggest is contacting those that came in and then left, and ask them why they left. Say, hey, I'm really curious, right? I put this together to try to, help and serve our community and the members, and it seems like it wasn't a good fit for you. And I'm honestly curious why it wasn't. So what about it did you not like? And what did you imagine or hope that it should have been? And then kind of just take that info and see if that's helpful or not moving forward.
Okay.
How is the feedback from the members right now?
So it's great. And that's why I'm excited for this growth phase, because it's been a lot of work to get to the point where we have things kind of figured out. But our members have been getting great results. We've changed a lot of the things that we're offering in the membership to really simplify it, where they're getting a lot of time with us, a lot of live calls. So we're getting some great stories, some great results, and which is why I feel like, it's time to really help more people and to really, so yeah, it's been exciting to see how the members are doing.
So you're worried about how to grow it because you can't scale yourself. And right now you're kind of the driving force behind everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been really hard because in addition to this, I have the other membership, and then I have like consulting jobs and private clients. And it's just been like, a real strain.
Can you migrate the people in the other group into this group?
The other membership?
Yeah.
Those not quite, because those are EFT practitioners.
Okay.
So it's just a different audience.
The reason I'm asking, and it's one of the other things that I sort of noticed is you've got, and you've got two groups, and you're doing consulting work. You're trying to get in or retain people that are sort of partners with you. You're also trying to get affiliates in, and you're trying to make sure that the way that you're presenting the information, you're serving your community, present sort of a path that people can follow, as opposed to just throwing lots of information at them. This is just what I'm inferring that you're doing. There's a lot of things that you're trying to do at the same time. I'm not surprised that you're like, which one of these makes the most impact? And that's why I was wondering, maybe you can simplify. I mean, if you could simplify things a little bit more, or figure out what are the 2 or 3 things that you could do that would have the most impact, and do those. And then, there's lots of stuff which we don't control, or that you can't get to everything. But if you can make sure that your focus is either where you want to go most, or where things need the most attention, and only really what the difference is between those two, and focus your energy there, and then get that working. And I think, like Greg said, is like, have a really open conversation with your other 4 partners and say, listen, guys, I feel like I'm pulling all, let me think, restate that. Maybe spend some time thinking about 3 or 4 things that you'd like that would really help you if they picked up, and write them out. Like, I'd really love it if someone was doing all of the handouts. I'm having a hard time putting together all these PDFs. I'd like if someone would, it'd be really helpful if someone would do like community engagement and like be in the Facebook group or whatever it is, and like answer questions during the day, so that I know that that's what they're doing. And have something, have like, if you've got 4 members, have like 6 things, and then ask them, each one of them, to pick one of the 6, and that'll leave you with 2 things to do rather than 6 things to do. And if they're reluctant to do that, then that's also good, because now you have an indication that you have a partner who isn't really bought in.
Yeah, I have tried to get some of the social media stuff handed off, and I've asked them about it, and there's like, well, tell me exactly what I have to do, and I'm just like, serve the community, you know what I mean? But but again, that's my leadership, I feel like I need to lead better.
It sounds like they don't believe that they're empowered to actually take control of that. They see it as a task to do for you, instead of something that they are in charge of. Is that on their side or your side, do you think, that disconnect?
I'm not 100% sure. I think that, like, we have one partner who's really rocking the affiliate. She's got a lot of people in through her. So, and then I have one that has brought in no affiliate. So basically she's not getting paid. Like, she's doing this, so I'm worried about the turnover also. There might be some like, well, why would I serve people who aren't, my people? I would hope that wasn't the case, but I don't know. But I just feel like there's a team disconnect with, so my thinking moving forward, and I wonder, what you guys think about this, but just kind of breaking away from the group, like the team of 4 of us, and kind of taking that back, and then bringing in somebody to spotlight for the month. So if somebody wants to come in and do, a 3-part yoga series on stress, or bring in 2 meditations for the month, and we can highlight them and promote them and share their work. I could still, because I really want the community feel, and I really want to bring in different things to the group. I don't want this to be like a tapping group where, let's tap a couple times a month. I really want to share a lot of different tools with them and bring in a lot of really awesome people. So that's kind of been like where my heart is right now, because it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy to,
to be honest, it still sounds like you're doing a whole bunch of things at the same time.
Yeah.
And are you good at bringing in new members? Have you got that figured out, how to do that?
Not quite figured out. But I am starting to work with a Facebook ads agency. So I do have a plan for growing the memberships.
Or is one of, or rather, is one of the other, is there somebody within your 5-person group that's good at that? Like, who's bringing in the most affiliates?
Yeah. There's one team member who's
okay. So really can you ask her to teach the rest of you how to do that?
Or just put her in charge of new members of member
well,
acquisition.
It seems like the business model is that everybody are paid according to who they bring in. So either keep that model or change the model where it's a complete spread, and then make her responsible for bringing that in, and then make someone else responsible for monthly content, and someone else responsible for community engagement, and someone else responsible for admin, or what have you. And then each of you owns a part of the business, and together it all works. And if you're all humming along, then it's great. Everybody makes a bunch of money. And if, community engagement sucks, then maybe you get people in, but they leave after a month. So, these are all things that you can sort of look at and see how you can help each other. And it's a matter of figuring out where each of your natural propensity is, and going towards the thing that feels the easiest. Like, if someone's really good at bringing in new members, it's usually because they don't have to think about it. It's just the way that they communicate, and they believe in what they're promoting, and they think it's like a good product, and they can help the people. And then it's very easy for them to say, it's $27, come on in, try it out, always leave, all this kind of stuff. And it sort of happens all by themselves. And there's people that the idea of asking someone to pay someone, a stranger, for $27 a month, it just, they can't speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just natural propensity. But
so it would be kind of a mindset shift from what you're doing now. So right now you have a couple of partners, and you each have your specialty in terms of what you provide your members. Mm-hmm. And what Bram is saying is just expand that relationship so you also each have your specialty in some sort of business function or operation. So instead of everybody being responsible for bringing in their own people, it would be more of like a business entity partnership where one person would be in charge of the marketing, which is bringing in the new people, and that you would all benefit from that person's talent or expertise, and then just divvy up the tasks that need to be done to operate the business amongst yourselves based on what you enjoy doing, what you're good at. But that kind of gets away from the co-op idea. And so again, you probably need to have the conversation with the others to see if that's something that they'd be interested in trying out. I'm sure the person who's brought in 0 members would love this idea, but you'd have to make sure that you'd have to figure out compensation for everybody.
But the question is, does the person that has brought in 0 have some other skill,
right,
that contributes to the whole? And I mean, again, it depends on how you define a co-op or not, but it's the whole idea that you're sort of moving away from a competitive model where, whoever brings in the most gets the most money, but everybody's supposed to serve the community, to something that in my mind seems a little bit more collaborative. And again, we're just spitballing ideas here. So, I mean, we've spent 25 minutes talking about your business. I'm sure it's going to take a lot more to figure out like how it actually works. But I think the point that we're trying to get at is, doing the same thing all the time and then just hoping that it's going to get better or that you'll figure it out, that doesn't work. And taking a leadership position where you feel like you need to, this is the trap I get stuck in sometimes, where I feel like I need to have everything figured out and I've just got to be able to tell people what to do. And that works to a certain extent because people love being told what to do. It's great being told what to do. You show up for work, someone tells you what to do. You don't have to think about it. You just go do it and you go away and they give you money. As opposed to having to show up to work and there's a problem that you need to deal with and you got to figure it out and you're invested in it. Now, although everybody thinks that what they really want is to be told what to do, everybody feels great, but not everybody. The majority of people feel great when they're actually not told what to do. They get presented with a problem and they figure it out themselves, because that's when you feel empowered and that's when you feel invested, as opposed to being a cog in the machine. And it's this tension always exists, but that's so, whenever I've gone stuck and I've gone too far to the point where I've just going to figure it all out, I'm just going to spoon feed everything and tell people what to do, and then said, no, hold on a second. Why don't I just say, guys, this is what I'm struggling with. I need help with 1, 2, and 3. I think you'd be good at that because you're really good at marketing. I think you'd be great at that because you really know how to talk to members. And I think you'd be great at that because, you know what? When everything's a shitstorm, you always keep you're always steady, and you'd be great at admin. And you're doing two things, because you're saying, I don't have everything figured out. And you're also talking about recognizing the people and what they've done, and you're seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's a way of thinking about it. I know you're on a bit of a time crunch. You can stay as long as you want, but if you need to go.
Okay. Yeah. My schedule shifted a little bit today with something, but okay. This definitely gives me a lot to think about in terms of meeting with them and seeing like how can we move this forward in a way that works for everybody and serves the members the best, and also, grows the membership as well. I think that's really interesting, Bram. I never thought about that, about having the collaborative business part of it. So I'll definitely think about that a little bit more, and and just see how the team is feeling and how we can make it work for everybody, because that was the vision in the first place, was to really help, to help everybody. And I'm excited, I'm excited that we're at the point where we can really get to the next level, and we just have to figure out these kinks.
They're all good problems to have, right? They're not bad problems. You just need to figure them out. And I don't think there's a cookie cutter answer to it. And
I have one more quick thought. Dawn, I'm curious. I'm just going to throw this out there and just kind of think about it. Is there a way that you could utilize the members that exist in your first group? So you said they're EFT practitioners. Could you utilize them to help you out in some of these other things you're doing? Are there any that you would trust to help you with some of the consulting work? Are there where you could kind of outsource to them? Are there any that you would trust to pull in to help you with this co-op project? They would be EFT experts, but I'm wondering if you could somehow leverage what you already have that's already working, and you already have a relationship with some of those people. Is there a way to tap them to help you out with some of these other things?
Okay.
So I just wanted to throw that out there to think about. Maybe there's an opportunity there, though, to leverage what you already have to help out with this new thing.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I do have one of the team members who also does tapping. She's from the membership, membership. So yeah, I can definitely think about that. And yeah, okay, you guys definitely helped me with clarity, because I have been, I feel like there's always so many ideas on the table and so many things, right? That like I'm kind of in so many different things. So this was really helpful to give me some things to think about, to really, figure out before, before.
Pick 3, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Think about it, whatever, get as many ideas on a piece of paper or what have you. Pick 3 and deal with them. You always, it doesn't mean that you're letting all the rest of them die. It just means that you need to get through those 3. And then once those are working, you can pick another 3. But trying to hold everything in your head at the same time and do everything at the same time is going to cause you to just freeze up. There's just too much going on. And I mean, just that everybody that comes on the hot seat or Loveline for Business, they go into a private Facebook group of Loveline for Business alumni. So we can continue having this conversation afterwards, and everybody that's been on on one of our shows is there as well. And we're trying to foster a community there, people that are helping each other figure these things out. There's so many interesting stories of, the things that we're all struggling with, working together to figure these things out is a lot of fun.
Yes. Oh, that sounds awesome. Thank you.
You'll be in there shortly.
That's great. Yay. Well, I got to run to get my daughter to an appointment that changed. But thank you guys so much for just, offering this opportunity to the 1% group. I've learned a lot by watching the other episodes. And you guys always have some really great thoughts to share and things to think about. So
cool. Well, thanks for trusting us to try to do something helpful.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Thank you guys.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. And so before we leave, Greg, do you want to say something about that pile of books behind you?
If anybody doesn't have a copy of 12 Once to a Million.
12 Once? What?
But 12 months.
Okay,
did I?
Sorry. No, it must be the accent. I'm sorry.
We happen to have a free plus shipping offer for a handful of these books right now, basically as a way to collect people's email address so that we can send you emails.
Spam you.
spam you about all kinds of neat things.
Yeah.
So if you
But
would
get a
like
book for
to,
free.
if you'd like to get a book for free plus pay shipping, you can go to ludicrousfunnel.com and get yours today. We'll ship it tomorrow.
Excellent. Bye, guys. I'll see you. We'll be back next week because we're super loading July with another amazing guest.
Yes.
Take care.